Hello everyone! It's a new day, new learning. By the way, I'm Mary Joy C. Amantelio from Bachelor of Elementary Education at Negros Oriental State University. For today's meeting, I will be going to discuss the different rhythmic patterns. But before that, let us first recall the notes and rest because we will be going to use that in our discussion. Whole note, whole rest, and it has an equivalent value of 4 beats. Okay, half note, half rest, and it has an equivalent value of 2 beats. Quarter note, quarter rest, and it has an equivalent value of 1 beat. 8th note, 8th rest, and it has an equivalent value of 1/2 beats. 16th note, 16th rest, and it has an equivalent value of 1/4 beats. Now, let's proceed to our new topic, which is the different rhythmic pattern. What is rhythmic pattern? So, rhythmic pattern is an integral part of music. So, when we say integral, it means it gives completeness. So, in short, rhythmic pattern give completeness to music. Without rhythmic pattern, music isn't complete. And it is also simply defined as a combination of notes and rest. And the pattern depends on a meter or a time signature. So it means that rhythmic pattern is a combination from both notes and rest. And then the pattern depends on the time signature. So what is exactly time signature is? A time signature or pattern signatures indicate how many beats are in each measure of a piece of music as well as which note value is counted as a beat. So it means that a time signature indicates how many value of beats put in a staff or in a composition or in a musical piece. And then, the meter of a song is indicated by its time signature. So of course, the time signatures indicates the beats on how many beats put in music. So it means that it is very important because we can't identify or we can't put any beats in that without time signature. So the time signature consists of 2 numbers. So stacked one on the top of the other. So it is look like this. So if the top number represents the number of beats, and while the bottom number represents the note value of each beat. Alright. Now let's proceed to the composition of rhythmic pattern. So the composition of rhythmic pattern looks like this. Alright. And then, time signatures specify how many beats, pulses are contained in each measure or bar and which note value is equivalent to a beat. And then another composition of rhythmic pattern is of course notes. Notes are musical symbols on a staff that designate when to play and when not to play. So of course, notes gives completeness in making rhythmic pattern. So as I have said, that a rhythmic pattern is a combination of notes and rest. So another is rest, of course. The composition of rhythmic pattern needs rest. So rest are a musical symbol used to designate when to pause and not to play. Okay, so the fourth composition that completes rhythmic pattern is the bar lines. So the bar lines are designated by vertical bar lines that run perpendicular to the staff, indicating the beginning and the end of the bar. So in short, the bar lines give emphasis when to end and when to start. So it gives measurement. So there are three common rhythmic patterns. So the three common rhythmic pattern is a duple meter, a triple meter, and a quadruple meter. So what is the duple meter? The duple meter is a meter with 2 beats per measure. So it looks like this. Alright, this is an example of a duple meter. As you can see, it has a time signature of 2-4. So it means that the top number means a measurement of how many beats in each measure. So as you can see, in the first measure, it has a quarter note which has an equivalent value of 1 beats each. So 1 plus 1 is equal to 2 beats. So it is 2. And then the second measure, it is also the same, which has 2 beats again. So it means that 2/4 is a combination, has a 2 beats each measure. Alright, and then let's proceed to what is the triple meter. So triple meter, also known as triple time, as a musical meter characterized by a primary division of 3 beats to the bar, usually indicated by 3 simple or 9 compound in the upper figure of the time signature, with 3/4, 3/2, 3/8, and 9.8 being most common examples. So it is very simple to identify triple meter. It has 3 beats in each measure. And then let's see the example. So as you can see, it has a time signature of 3/4. And then let's count the beats in each measure if it is also 3 beats. So as we can see, it has 3 quarter note which has an equivalent value of 1 beats each. So 1 plus 1 plus 1 is equal to 3 beats in each measure. So it is very easy to identify what is duple meter, triple meter, as long as you already know the notes and rests in each measure or in each bar. And now let's proceed to what is a quadruple meter. Quadruple meter is also quadruple time. It is a musical meter characterized in a modern practice by a primary division of 4 beats and to the bar, usually indicated by 4 in the upper figure of the time signature, with 4 in a common time also notated as being the most common example. So in being the most example, it has a time signature of 4/4. So let's see the example. These are the examples. So as you can see, it has a time signature of 4/4, and it has a 4 quarter note which has an equivalent value of 4 beats each in a measure. So it means that it has a 4 beats in each measure. So understood? Alright. Now let's proceed to how to make a rhythmic pattern. So of course, how to make a rhythmic pattern is necessary to discuss here. So the first thing you need to do is to familiarize the different notes and rests and its corresponding value of beats. So of course, and the first thing you need to do is to familiarize the notes and rests, because you can't do do or you can make a rhythmic pattern if you can't identify the proper notes and rest and its value. So let's proceed. So these are the notes and rest and its values. Alright, so we already recall this one a while ago. Now let's proceed to the next step in making a rhythmic pattern. So in making a rhythmic pattern, you need to identify the first time signature. Of course, you need to put first the time signature because it gives indication of what or how many beats you need to put in a step or in each measure. After that, you need to put bar lines. Of course, bar lines give emphasis on when to start and when to end. Alright. The next step to make a rhythmic pattern is to filled with notes and rest in each bar. But of course, in filling in notes and rest in each measure, it also unequal to the time signatures given. It's of course, if it is not equivalent to the time signature given, so it is not correct. It has a quarter note which has 2 beats, and then in the second measure it has a half note with 2 beats, and in the third measure it has a half rest with 2 beats. Make sure that each note and rest you filled in each bar lines is equivalent on the time signature given. How important are rhythmic patterns in writing a song? So pattern recognition gives us great enjoyment when we listen to music. All relationship and notes patterns would be identical, and even though the two renditions have no notes in common at any given moment. Now, let's see if you really understand in our discussion for today. And let's try this one. All you have to do is to put X on above of the measure if it is not correct according to the notes and rest given. So this one. You may now start answering. I guess you're done. So let's check. In the first measurement, it has a quarter note with 1 beat and a half note with 2 beats. So it is correct or not? Alright, it is wrong. Second measure, it has 2 half notes. Remember, a half note has equivalent value of 2 beats. So it is equal to 4 beats. It is correct or not? It is not. So in the last measure, it has a half rest. So a half rest has an equivalent value of 2 beats. It is correct or not? It is correct. So we don't need to put X above on the measure. Okay, that's all for today. I hope you learned something. And again, I am Marjoy C. Amantelio from Bachelor of Elementary Education at Negros Oriental State University, saying thank you and God bless everyone.